first one is, this is about oversoul consciousness. So oversoul consciousness is a bigger field of energy that you are. That's pure consciousness. You could also look at it as higher self consciousness, ether, space, yourself as the presence, as the witness. So if you were to think about squeezing the bigger witness consciousness at large that you are into your body or into your soul packet, that would be a smaller version of the oversoul. The oversoul is like a much bigger, kind of like the scenery I have here, the clouds. It's like your cloud self, your bigger self. And if you have felt like you've been spread out because you've been meditating a lot, you're a meditator, if you have felt like you're coming into a new identity, like you don't really know if you're the exact same version of the soul that you've always shown up as recently in this past life, you may have been really working with a higher aspect of your consciousness, like oversoul, and you can ask yourself a yes or no question about that within, and get a yes or no. You could use a pendulum, use body soul muscle testing. The other one is the monad. So monadic consciousness, in Latin, monad means the one, and this is also seen as the I am, that I am consciousness, which is also, when I talk about monadic, I also am guided to talk about groups. Sometimes if you're connected to a larger group, like the 144 or the 144 seconds, that one bigger group consciousness is also something that you may be working with to tune into, to facilitate a greater understanding, a greater clearing. So I just wanted to share that I feel the call again to really just make a note right now, right here, that if you are aligned to these two topics, monad and oversoul consciousness, you may be being asked to be world building, to do bigger visualizations, not only for yourself, but for the collective at large. So today, I'm guided to put together for August, is it just for the week? No, it's for the whole month, So August, the month of August, if you feel guided in the wee hours, if you get up, let's say to use the restroom in the wee hours, that's a great time when the veil is really thin. Otherwise, you could just be laying in bed right before you get vertical, to visualize with your eyes closed a couple things. One is just visualize yourself as space. Be the witness. And visualize colors. This is a magical assignment. It's to use your imagination so that you can help bring higher frequencies to the plane of existence that you are finding yourself at. And you may just put the colors there, or you may see the colors there. When I was in this morning around 4 a.m., 5 a.m., I was seeing a lot of blue, royal blue, pastel blues. It was kind of going in and out of like electric white blue to different shades of blue. And you can build things out, like what fun things may be to build out, crystalline cities, or to see the things that are already existing in your reality very crystalline, like you're rebuilding your house in a crystal stacked up light particle fashion. This will lighten the frequency of your house. This will lighten the frequency of the field that you're visualizing, the city that you live in. Maybe you're being asked by your intelligence, your greater intelligence, to build new structures, to just open up more space. I know the horses are calling for more space, the animals are calling for more space, so you may see, just pure liquid love light through the field. And this is just going to be a magical assignment. What comes to you will be specific to your meditations. And when you're doing this in the wee hours, it's really windy, I'm on the boat, obviously. When you're doing this in the wee hours, you have a lot more power to do greater build outs for yourself and for this assignment for the collective. So you're going to, be opening up more space, literally, where some may feel like they had no space because it was overbuilt, the old world. You're going to open up more space for the new. And this is also reminding me to share that you can program this field of energy that it's always perfect weather, that it's always the perfect temperature. You don't even have to name what the temperature is, etc. You just can claim with the overarching statement, because your word is bond, to program these reality, these spaces behind your two eyes, that you're setting things up. So when you open your two eyes and you do less social media, I know I'm on social media right now with you all, but you do less looking at screens, less looking at, the outer, and do more of this inner work, whether you're just doing it, as you're laying in bed, you can do it throughout the day several times. But if you do more behind the two eyes, on the inner eye, build outs and light shows, you then have more of your eternal flame to then birth when you open your two eyes and see that already existing, because what you see behind the two eyes is, as well as you have more light to bring from the higher realms to go ahead and bring it here right now. So, programming it to be the perfect weather. Do not look at what's going on with weather. Yes, you can pray for people and things like that, but this is a high request for those who are doing OverSOUL and monadic build out, to see new and to see in things in wholeness and see things in a balanced, perfected state. This will quicken and help those who are in a different space to be able to access these places that you're building out behind your two eyes. And they're already there. You're just bringing in, everything's happening at once. You're bringing in more weight and let's say quantum entanglement to that field, so that when you do open your two eyes, you're grounding it essentially. I feel like there was one more thing. Yeah, maybe it'll come back to me. The last thing that I wanted to suggest is a parasite cleanse. You can take your pick on what kind of parasite cleanse you want to do, herbs, essential oils. I have done recently a parapurge. You can look it up online. I've done a couple rounds of that. I'm about to order another set. It gave another level. One second. It gave another level of mental clarity. And again, your inner avatar, when you have a clear space, the outer, which is a representation, this construct is built from what's in this temple, inside this temple. What you see out in front of you is also more power to project in the outer. And yeah, I think that was the main things as far as make your meditations magical, do it throughout the day. And I will add one more thing. I know what it was. Ask yourself when you're laying there to start the day, and then throughout the day and in the day, let's say you did 5 times, ask yourself questions of feeling. What would it feel like for this reality I'm visioning behind my two eyes, where everything is in perfected state, weather to feel like? What would it feel like if I always had everything I needed? What would it feel like if I spoke things into creation, they were instant for myself and others? What would it feel like if I always have what I need? Things like that. Something that's going to generate the feeling with a thought is the request. And if you do that more often in the day, you're going to have a lot more power, a lot more actualized instant mode manifestations that are